Do you want the secret to clearing absolutely everything in the Octopath Traveler 0 demo? Well, look no further because I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about it in this very video. I'm going to start very quickly by stating the obvious for those of you who might not get it. You're going to need to skip all of the dialogue to really experience everything in the demo. Now, I wouldn't recommend that you do this because the story in this game is fantastic. I played Octopath Traveler 0 for like 300 or 400 hours, and I love the story back when it was COTC. So I would recommend one of two things. You can either save before you do the story, do it without saving at all, and then reset and skip your way through it, or you can just do multiple playthroughs and take your time with different parts of the story, whatever works for you. But for the speedrun, you will need to skip everything. The second most important time save is that you, during combat, hit your start button or your plus button or whatever it is that you use on your console or your PC to make your combat animations go at double speed. This is going to speed things up astronomically. I think it shaved off something like 25 minutes off of my run. The next part here that I actually want to talk about is the route that you take. With any speedrun, anyone who's familiar with speedrunning is familiar with routing, and we're going to take a look at the map over here. So there are three major cities. You can see them up here. Wishvale is the one that you start out in, and then you have Valore, you have Emberglow, and you have Theatropolis. All of these are going to be sites of your major stories. So the new story is this Wishvale story over here, which is your town builder. This is the one that I recommend you start with. None of the other three matter in terms of the sequencing of things that you do, but you do need to start the Wishvale story. You start out in this town anyway, so it's really not that big of a deal. We'll zoom in on this a little bit here to take a look, and you will start out with chapter 1 here. And when you do that, it is going to ask you to go and find a villager by the name of Time. And so what you're going to do is you're going to go south immediately from here. Ignore the Cerulean Caverns. You're going to go here as part of the tutorial, but once you're done with the tutorial, you are released and able to venture across the map, and you are going to go south and then east. There are two different sort of paths that you can take, one that goes south and one that goes east. I would recommend that you go through the one that goes east, and it will take you all the way over into the Theatropolis area. More accurately here, the North Theatropolis Plains, and this is where Time is going to be. You are going to find him. He's marked by an orange little target thing. It's not that hard to do, and it takes about 2 seconds for you to recruit him to your village. After you do that, do not go back. Continue to the east, just past his house, go down to Theatropolis Plains, and then south and to the west, over into the actual Theatropolis. There are 2 reasons for this. The first and most important reason is that Theatropolis is sort of the farthest one away from your village, and so you're already kind of close to this here, so you might as well touch it, and then you can fast travel over to it. The second reason is that you can actually get a very powerful recruit here, which is the Scholar Alexia. Scholars in this game come with AoE damage. Your main character can be one, and Alexia can be one, and if you really want to speedrun really, really fast, you can take 2 scholars. That will make sure that your SP distribution is even, and they can nuke the absolute living daylights out of mass mob bosses. So that's what you're going to do in Theatropolis. You're going to do those 2 things very, very quickly, and then you're going to leave. You can actually just fast travel to the entrance of Theatropolis from the library where Alexia is in. You just open up your map, you click on it, you fast travel right back to the entrance of Theatropolis, and you're not going to go back to your town just yet. I have to stress, really important. What you're going to do is you're going to walk back out all the way up the way you came, and then walk over into this area here, Emberglow Wilds. Now what you're going to do after that is you're going to walk down into Emberglow. Again, for the same reason as Theatropolis, there is a recruitable character in here by the name of Macy. And what you're going to do with Macy, I will mimic this a little bit quickly so that you can see what I do. So you're going to enter Emberglow, you're going to run very quickly, she's going to be in here, in the inn, you're going to talk to her right here in this corner, and you're going to run right back out, and it's really important, this is going to be a big time save, you're going to jump into this item shop and purchase a herb of fortification. She's going to need this for her quest. And then you're going to go and find Macy in whatever house she's in the east. I'm not going to do the entire thing, or maybe I will, but you'll find Macy in the house to the east. It's in the second area of Emberglow, and you'll basically talk to her about the kid that's sick. You'll give them the herb of fortification, and you'll recruit her to your person. Again, after you've done that, I'll show you how quick this is, so you don't have to run back. You open your world map, and you just teleport straight to Emberglow. Now, you can do one of 2 things here. There's really not a correct answer. But what I did is I actually, since you're pretty close to Valore here, I just walked over. You go back to Emberglow Wilds, you go west Emberglow Wilds, and then you go to Valore Trail, and you touch Valore for the unlock. And this way you've kind of just walked along the line and you've gotten all 3 of them. You can do this in the opposite way, but I feel like recruiting time on your way saves you time of having to go back there. In this town, if you've picked the 3 key items, you will be able to recruit 2 units. One of them will be in this inn over here. That will be your warrior character. And the second one will be on the western side of this town in a different sort of tavern, and that will be the thief. Once you've gotten both of these, you're going to do one more thing really quickly before you teleport back to your town, and that is going to go back north into Valore Trail, and you're going to go all the way to the western side to this West Valore Trail. This is a very dangerous area. You can probably get killed very easily, but it seems like it gives you enough time to, as soon as you enter this level 23 area, it doesn't matter, you are going to go straight north, and there will be a gold chest with the best dagger in the game. I have it on my unit right now. I'll show you. It's the Befuddling Dagger. It's 48 physical attack plus 20 speed and a small chance to reduce target's accuracy. This is the strongest dagger in the game. I would recommend that you get it, and then you teleport out immediately all the way back to your village. This way, you have recruited almost all of the available characters. You've added 4 to your already party of 2, that's 6, and there's going to be 1 more that you're going to get as part of the Wishvale quest, and you've unlocked all of the major towns. After that, you're back in Wishvale, you finish off everything that has to do with this quest, and it's going to send you all the way back down here to the Snowshard Grotto. Now, you can do this in 2 ways. You can walk down from Wishvale. I find it faster to just teleport from Emberglow, walk over to Emberglow Wilds, and then into the West Emberglow Wilds and over to Snowshard Grotto. And just finish off the story that's there. It'll have you teleport back up to Wishvale to get your last character. He will join you for a total of 7 characters. I think that's all of the ones that are possibly recruitable in the demo, unless I drastically missed something, which I don't think I did. And that is going to be your route. You'll finish off the Wishvale quest here. Between recruiting all of these characters and finishing off the Wishvale quest, you will boost up. Is it going to show me anywhere my path skills? Probably won't. But you will boost up your... Oh, no, there it is. It's in the bottom left corner here of my screen. If you take a look, you got Wealth 6, Power 5, and Fame 8. This is what happens after you finish all of the quests, plus recruit all of the characters. So you'll boost up your path actions, and then that will help you optimize some of the later things that we're going to talk about. So now that we've talked about the beginning of the route, the next part does not really matter. You can do any of the 3 quests in any order because you can just teleport right into all of the different towns. So I'm not going to sit and go through any speedrunning or anything in that regard. You can just do them slowly at your leisure, however you wish to do it. The one thing that I will touch on, though, is some of the items that are available in the extra areas or in the extra towns. And part of your route can also highlight touching and getting some of these items on the way. So for example, if you would like, when you first go to Valore and you're going to go get your dagger here in West Valore Trail, you could head slowly up into August's Villa. It is a level 10 area, and very much like the level 23 area, there's actually a decent weapon, and it is called the Light Staff. All you need to do is you immediately enter this area and you go to the right. There will be a chest. You get that, you teleport straight out. There's nothing else to do in this area. There's no boss, or no mini-boss, nothing. There's a couple of other regular chests, but it's nothing special. If you just want to save time and get a good staff, you get it from here. So that's August Manse. We already talked about the dagger that's over here in the West Valore Trail, and so basically you've done all of the stuff that's related to Valore, except the path action things in Valore town itself. So say you're coming and you want to do the main quest line for Valore. I would honestly recommend starting out with Fame because there's a lot of entice options here in Valore that you can do, but it doesn't really matter. It will be a very marginal difference. So the things to look out for in Valore, there's only 2 or 3 really, really good ones. There is, I'm actually going to show you these NPCs because otherwise it's going to be kind of hard to vocalize them. But so we're going to go to Valore here, and you're going to walk straight to the south, and in one of these buildings, this one, the Mafia building, there is this dancer here, or dancer looking person. She is the Taviani's stepdaughter, and you can purchase or use that path action to get the Stimulating Cuffs, which are big SP boost, the Quality Vest, which is also a big speed and defenses boost, and Saintly Tiara, which is another big SP boost for your mages. Since we're using scholars, they are going to love these very much. To guarantee these path actions, you can actually save in the town and then just reload if you don't get them so you don't run out of path actions. So that's the first one. That's honestly kind of the major one. The second one will be another dancer-like person, and I will walk you over to her now. And she's going to give you something called the Wind Attire. One of my characters is using the Wind Attire currently, and it's kind of the same thing. You're going to go to the purchase option, and it is, you can see it right here. I've already got it, but you haggle and you get the Wind Attire. Again, it's another speed boosting thing to guarantee that your characters go first and nuke those mobs with the AoE spells that you have. The last one is the Fighter's Headband, and you can find it here in the tavern where you recruit your thief. And it's from this guy here, and you're also going to haggle for it. It is a great helmet that gives you HP and defenses. So I would highly recommend getting this one. Outside of those, there's nothing super important in Valore. There's a level 28 fight here that honestly I don't think is doable in this current demo. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but it gives you a Helm Cleaver and a Magus Bow. These are like two very, very high level weapons. I highly doubt that it's doable. But they're very strong. So if you can get them, great. I couldn't do it. It's probably a skill issue. But that's pretty much us done with Valore. Now let's head over to Emberglow, because there's actually quite a few things for you to get in Emberglow. Most of the stuff in Emberglow is easy enough to get. There's a bunch of stuff that's not worth it, like the Small Shield, the Herb of Vigor. These aren't great. But if you walk up here to the north near the church, there's two pretty good items here. The father here has the Silver Locket. It'll give you elemental attack plus 10, just a little bit of damage for your mages. And this lady in the northeast has the Stimulating Earring, which gives you another 10 SP. These are nice little additions. They're not nothing, mind-boggling or earth-shattering, but they're good to have. This level 33 contend, I'm pretty sure this is impossible, so you can ignore it. The other things that are actually really good is this Scarlet Wings Knight over here. He has a Silver Spear. This is very, very powerful for your warrior, or if you have a merchant, it gives speed and a lot of physical attack. I would highly recommend you haggle for this. And if you're running out of money, you can do all of the story quests first, and you should have enough and come back for these. You're not going to need these to do all the story quests. And then these two ladies in here, you can contend for the Linen Robe, which is pretty good, but what's better than it is actually this one that you can entreat for, and that's the Fur Robe, and it'll boost your elemental attack, again for one of your scholars. Outside of that, there's one other one that's actually really good. It is a level 23 contend, and I was able to do this at level 12 or 13. I forget what it was, but I'm level 14 now, and you'll be able to see that I got it. And it's this woman over here that you can contend for a circlet. This also gives 15 max SP on a helmet, which is very nice. Outside of that, there's nothing really crazy in Emberglow, so you're pretty much done. You can do these while you're doing the quests if you want to optimize your time even further. That's kind of what I did, but for these higher level contends, I don't think it's necessary. The last area that we are going to talk about is Theatropolis. There are a lot of goodies in Theatropolis. I would highly recommend that you pick some of these up if you can on your first visit here. It will make your life a breeze. Entreating this soldier right at the entrance can give you this silver-laden axe, which is very strong and accurate, and the sturdy helm, which will give you some nice defense. Another one is the woman in the tavern. You can actually recruit this lady to come to your village, but you can contend her, she is level 23, I haven't tried her, for the Peacebringer's Garb. This is another very good defensive armor that I would recommend that you pick up if you want to be ready to hit the ground running for the main game. After that, there are some, if you want to lose your sanity, you can come over here to this Knight Ardent guy, and for a whopping 3% chance, you can get a really strong sword called a Magic Eater, or the Iron Armor, which is a pretty good physical defense armor. These are things that you will have to save scum, unless you're like supremely lucky. You're not going to get these. And then my favorite place in this is where you recruit Alexia, and that is the library. The library has a bunch of excellent goodies. The History of Orstera is a fantastic book, and again, it's an 8%, so you would have to save scum for this one if you can get it. And I can't remember if this guy over here has. It's this dude over here in the left corner, the Acerbic Scholar, has the Ancient Grimoire, which is another good one that boosts speed and elemental attack if you can contend for this. It is a level 9 battle. It should be pretty easy. You should be able to do this without much fuss. The last one here, the Cleric in the Library, also has the Laurel Staff and the Silver Hairpiece. These are fantastic to start your Scholars out. It's basically like, oh, you recruit Alexia, let's pick up some starting weapons and armor for her. And these you can probably entreat on your first visit here. You don't really need very high levels to do this. Once you've finished that, there's only really one more highlight in Theatropolis, and it's over here in the theater. And it involves the dancer on the left-hand side on the ground floor immediately as you get in here. I don't think these are going to get a lot of use, but the Ancient Necklace is very nice. 30 HP and 10 SP is a nice little boost. The robe is garbage, but the Zephyrian fan, if you have a unit that uses a fan, you can use for it. So that's pretty much all the items that you can get from the path actions that are run-altering. I don't think I've missed any. If I have, let me know. But that's for the major towns and what you can do on your run. Now you're probably going to be like, well, Link, there's a bunch of like bonus areas that we didn't really talk about. We touched on Area 23 in August's Mansion, but what about sort of the other 4 or 5 areas that are bonuses that we have done? Well, fear not, I've actually gone through all of these and beaten all of these sub-bosses to tell you what is in them. So I can tell you if it's worth it or not. So the Snowshard Grotto is part of your main story. There's actually a serpent side boss that has a giant bow behind him. If you can kill him, he's not that hard. And you can get that bow for Fen or whoever uses the bow. It's actually pretty good. I would recommend doing this one. The next one up is the Snowbloom Ruins. This is trash. It's a level 10 area, so it's pretty good for some training, but you shouldn't need it. You could probably, we'll touch on a little bit of training later. But this one has no boss, and it just has a round shield, which is an okay shield. I guess it's not terrible, but if you have time, you can touch on this one. The Emberglow Slopes is another one that's kind of disappointing. It has a bear boss for the XP if you want it, and it gives you the Fan Mastery skill. Nothing fancy, but pick it up again if you have time. And last but not least, but another one is the Serpent's Burrow. This one has a snake boss, surprise, surprise. Behind it is a stinging dagger. This is pretty good. It also boosts speed. It has a leather helmet in here somewhere and a crested key. Crested keys seem pretty important. They're part of the Warriors storyline. They talk about it a little bit. There's like 8 chests with crested keys that open them, and it sounds like they unlock some weapons behind them. So you probably will want to pick this one up. And last but not least, probably the most impactful side area is the Knights Ardent Garrison. This is also a level 10 area. It has a wind elemental boss, which isn't too strong. It's weak to like thunder, fire, and dark or something like that, so your scholars should be able to rip it apart, honestly. But behind it has a alchemy tome that boosts speed. There's a war axe in here as well that is also very good. And that's all of the bonus areas. There's not much else going on. If you do all of the stuff that I just talked about in the last, 10 minutes? I don't know how long this video is. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Oh, we're almost 20 minutes long. Okay. So I'll wrap this up here now with one last thing. You can do all of this. Your demo only has 3 hours on it, but you can probably do all this easily within 2.5 hours. What should you do for your last 30 minutes? Well, you can actually have more than 30 minutes, and what I would recommend is you go buy a lot of the Olives of Life that are resurrection things, or potions, and you can come here to the level 23 area. Now, once you hit the 3 hour mark, the game will let you continue playing until you leave the area or change areas or go to a different autosave screen or whatever it is. So, as long as you get into West Valore Trail before the 3 hour mark ticks, you can stay here for as long as you can survive. So it is possible in this demo to infinitely grind. I have done it on a separate save file, and I stayed past the 3 hour mark by like 45 minutes to an hour, long enough for me to test that this is indeed an infinite grind. I recommend you bring the Olives of Life and some SP regenning stuff for you to heal your units with. Eventually they will probably, if you grind them up enough, they will get strong enough for them to not take much damage or to outspeed the enemies. It's going to be a little bit rough in the mid-teens. In the late teens, around level 18 or 19, is where your scholars will start to outspeed the enemies and be able to like 1 or 2 shot them with the AoE spells, even just at 1 BP. An alternative that I like to do is you have a skill that Stia has called Donate BP. If she's the fastest unit in your party, she can donate both of her BP to one of your scholars, and then you can max boost an AoE spell, and that pretty much will wipe a wave. And you're going to get anywhere between 30 and 50 EXP per battle here, so you'll level up pretty fast, and you can stay here for as long as you want to prepare for the main game. So that's it. There's like a couple of side quests. There's one in Valore, I think, and I don't know where the other one is, but I didn't think they were that important to cover. I think these are the major things. Oh, actually, one more thing. The protagonist's jobs unlock after you learn enough battle skills, and so with SP grinding, I mean, you can see I haven't even finished. I have enough SP on him. If I learn enough skills, it's going to let me switch to another job, as you're seeing here on the screen. So I can just go to my job list, and I can pick whatever one of these jobs that I want to go into. The JP obviously will be carried over, but you can farm as many JP as you like and unlock technically all the jobs through this infinite grinding. So have at it, enjoy. I hope this was useful to you guys, and don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, do that little new hype button thing at the bottom. That helps my content a lot. And we're probably going to cover this game on launch because this is one of my favorite JRPG stories ever, and I'm really, really excited that it has finally come to consoles. So that's about it. I'll see you guys in another video very soon. Peace.